Well, hey there. I hope you're doing well. I'm feeling all right. I wanted to talk about something that the Christian community has been raving about recently. That is that a lot of us humans, we have a spark of divinity within us. We're endowed with God's essence flowing through our spirit. We come from the Adamic nature of man. Since the fall of Adam, we may not be perfect, but the straight and narrow path we shall walk, and God's kingdom we shall inherit. Other humans among us, though, well, can you even consider them to be such? Or are they vessels that inhabit demonic entities? Or more frighteningly, are they merely fallen angels wearing skin suits? I believe that a lot of people here are humans, but without the whole armor of God, without the blood of Christ, humans are just vessels that are susceptible for influences of the spiritual realm. And in the spiritual realm, either you are of God, you belong to the heavenly Father above, or you are an enemy. You belong to the enemy. I'd like to delve a little deeper into how the demons in flesh suits and how people who have demonic entities attached to them, well, it may not be them that target, attack, and try and harm a child of God, but I want to delve into the ways in which the attacks from the enemy manifest in this realm. As a child of God, someone with a demonic entity attached to them will never acknowledge anything that you say. They'll never accept anything you say. They'll never embrace your essence. They'll never build upon your words. And they'll never glorify anything that you say. Instead, they'll try and make it seem as if there is no basis of truth in your speech. They'll always spin your words against you to make it seem as though what you're saying is blasphemous, when, as a matter of fact, that could be further from the truth. The opposite, rather. Because at the end of the day, a demon or the demonically influenced, their primary objective is to get a child of God to step out of their God-given purpose. They're trying to do whatever it takes to get that person to not believe. They ultimately want your destruction. They want you to spend an eternity in a place that's only designed for the devil and his fallen angels. A demon will know every detail about a child of God's life before it occurs. As an infant or an early child, they may be able to speak of things that will manifest for you in your life years and years down the line. Someone who's demonically influenced might even be downright jealous or envious of a child of God. How can it truly be? How can somebody be jealous of the light that a child of God has within them? Well, that's probably because that demon knows that this one, he belongs to the Father. There's nothing we can do to prevent him from accomplishing his mission, his purpose, his God-given purpose in life. We can try and back him out of the faith. We can try and attack him. We can try and harm him physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically. We can try and shovel endless amounts of trauma his way. But at the end of the day, he will recover. He will remain on the path straight and narrow because he is one of God's children. Sometimes when I'm out walking the streets, I get this look of disgust and anger and hatred from strangers. And I either got to assume that that's a demon right there who just, they hate the nature of my essence. Or perhaps they're just somebody who has a demonic entity attached to them. Because there's no reason for somebody to have sheer disgust for you on sight. The demonic realm even attacks me when I'm making these videos, because sometimes I stumble over my words or I stare off. It's probably the reason why I had infantile spasms and epilepsy as a child too. I wouldn't be surprised. But through the power of He who strengthens me, I'm able to get through every obstacle, every challenge that's presented before me. And don't judge it, if some of my body language isn't quite as efficient as what you're used to seeing in other vloggers. I'm overcoming a war just to present you the truth in an efficient manner here. Those who are affected by the demonic realm, they could be your friend, they could be a close relative, they could be a distant relative, they could be your co-workers, they could be people in the church body. They're everywhere. And as a child of God, my message to you in this video is this: don't be afraid to do whatever you have to do to walk the path straight and narrow, to fulfill your God-given purpose, regardless of what conflicts may arise in your personal life, because the kingdom of heaven is much more relevant, important, and fruitful in the grand scheme of things than the conflicts of this earthly realm, than the opinions of what other people may think of you. Let them think what they want to think of you. Let them think that you're interpreting the Bible too literally. The Bible is the truth. The Bible is the word of the Lord. And he who reads it shall come to a full understanding. Let them do and say whatever they must. I don't know what else I could say regarding this matter other than sometimes when I'm talking to people, I could sense I can sense this other spirit. It's a total lack of empathy. It's a total lack of compassion. It's a total lack of care. It's the enemy. If you ever get the sense that you're talking to somebody and they're the enemy of God, well, you may never know if that person is really a person or not, if that human is really human or just a fallen spirit. And never underestimate how Satan will manifest all sorts of trickery and just people in your life to make this a more strenuous and conflicting time for you as a child of God. I don't know how these fallen angels are able to blend in and mask as humans so effortlessly. However, they're out there. They really are. They live regular lives. They work regular jobs. And their primary objective is to create as much disorder and conflict to a child of God who belongs with the Father. And so, be careful out there, and blessings be with you always.